People don't trust the police when something so obvious, where we have proof, evidence, everything you need is on camera, and it takes a year, 2 years, 3 years, and very little to nothing happens. That's why we don't trust the police. I mean, damn, that's why we don't trust anything the government has to say or do. Hey, thank you for watching Power to the Pod, where we're committed to intellectual integrity and the moral honesty. I'm your host, Superior, and once again, thank you for watching. Now, in this video, we need to have a conversation, okay? Now, ever since the tragic murder, Tyree Nichols, it's been a different kind of conversation happening. It would almost kind of seem easier if it was white police officers beating and killing a young, innocent black man, for the most part. It seemed like it would be easier because we've been there before. But now that it's black police officers brutalizing and killing another black man, it brings a whole different type of conversation. It's going to take a different kind of understanding when it comes to policing in the community. Now, of course, I'm in the camp of, for a while now, I've kind of ditched the whole, racism in policing, which racism in policing is a thing. It's been proven in history. But for the conversation with a regular person, they get caught up. They get confused when you start talking about race in policing. So I've been on this tip for a while. Policing in general needs to be dealt with. Now, what is interesting is when it comes to black police officers now, I'm pretty sure they're going to be on the radar. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to feel, which it's a good chance that this might happen, because people love scapegoats. They love somebody. They love a boogeyman to blame. I don't want black police officers to be made an example of if their white counterparts are not going to be held by the same standard. Do you know what I'm saying? It takes months, years to convict or to even persuade the public this white police officer did something wrong. Fire, put in prison. But now, if they black, because race does play a part. I know you don't like to hear that, but race does play a part. They're going to be made an example of. Let's take a listen.
Of the year, not that guy, but the sheriff. Let's put the sheriff up first. The sheriff found out one of his deputies beat an inmate. Within hours. The sheriff fired him, arrested him, and put the man in the same jail as he was a deputy just hours prior.
Hours. I'm pretty sure Dr. Richie about to trip the hell out on his own, but hours? Can you look me in the eye and tell me any instant where a police officer did something wrong and then within hours he was put in jail? Within hours. I don't want to speculate. I don't want to jump into the whole conspiracy thing, because that's not my cup of tea. But hours? Breonna Taylor's killer wasn't put in jail. Wasn't even really handcuffed or even really questioned within hours. Really? That's crazy to me. That's crazy.
Well played. And I'm happy to say I know the sheriff. All right, let me give you the background. Cobb County, Georgia. The sheriff, his name is Craig Oliver. Announced Monday that Deputy Jaquan Brown was fired and arrested after he beat up an inmate at the jail. Now, Deputy Brown is behind bars at the same jail he committed this alleged criminal assault. We will not tolerate abuse of power, the sheriff says. We will uphold laws equally and fairly, the sheriff says. Jail records show that Brown faces charges of battery and violation of oath of office. Remember when I told you about that additional charge, that violation of oath of office? You know they're serious when they charge them with violation of oath. Why? Because that stops you from being a cop. You get convicted of that one, you can never be a cop again.
Didn't know
when
that.
They do not charge with violation of oath, the fix is in. Remember that? That's the code. He was charged with violation of oath of office.
Didn't know that.
Very
Okay.
fitting. Sheriff Owens said early Saturday morning, Brown beat up an inmate who was trying to get to another part of the jail. The deputy recruit was moving the detained individual in an attempt to de-escalate the situation inside of the pod. He was causing a disturbance, Sheriff Owens said. An exchange of words began. And the end result was the deputy attacking the inmate. It was a clear violation of all of our training and protocols in our policies. Let me tell you why this is so timely. What the sheriff witnessed was a crime against another human being. Does not matter that the person was temporarily incarcerated. He did not shed his humanity nor his rights. He has a right to due process. He has a right to be safe. He has a right to be protected inside of that jail. Those rights were violated. They were violated by another deputy. That deputy was working for a sheriff that did not play it. Remember, there was no 1 year, 2 year investigation. There was no, well, let's see what the cop review board says. No, you know why? Because the sheriff is a constitutional authority. He's elected as a constitutional officer. He doesn't have those checks and balances. Some people don't like that, but in this case, I do. He did not have to check with anybody. He can simply do the right thing because he knows it was the right thing to do. Let's put up a picture of the district attorney of Cobb County. Right? I like this brother as well. The sheriff said Brown had just finished training and was on a probationary period of employment at the jail before becoming a full-fledged deputy. Owen said the victim, who was in jail on drug trafficking charges, had superficial injuries and was taken to the hospital as a precaution. All right? They did the right thing here. Now, we quickly reviewed the evidence. This is what the DA says. We quickly reviewed the evidence and presented toward us and decided to relieve the recruit immediately of his job. He told news reporters following the beating and murder of Tyree Nichols in Memphis. Cobb's DA applauded the sheriff's office. He applauded this. You got to understand, they're on the side of what? Justice. They're not on the side of the individuals temporarily incarcerated. They're just on the side of justice. That's it. You don't have to be on the side of a particular person to be on the side of justice.
All right, let me go ahead and take over, Mr. Dr. Ritchie. Thank you for opening up there. This is how this should always play out. I guarantee not forgetting what happened in the past with policing, but if this was to happen from here on out, policing is held accountable from their managers and the people above. They do something wrong, swift action is needed. People don't trust the police when something so obvious, where we have proof, evidence, everything you need is on camera, and it takes a year, 2 years, 3 years, and very little to nothing happens. That's why we don't trust the police. I mean, damn, that's why we don't trust anything the government has to say or do. We need swift action. And I want this to be applied to every police officer. Once again, like I said in previous videos, I don't want nothing else to happen like a Tyree Nichols. I don't want that to happen. But if it does, I want the district attorneys, I want everybody to be like, you know what? This is wrong. We're gonna nip it in the butt. We ain't gonna let this ride on and create excuses and this and give him paid leave. Like, make it to where he like Dr. Richie said, when he violates his oath of office or whatever the phrase is. I'm gonna have to look that up because I didn't know that. These people cannot be police officers no more. No mas. No. If I used this example before. If I worked at Walmart and I beat up one of my customers because he was moving too slow or something, or he stunk or something, and I beat him up, Walmart is not going to move me to the Walmart down the street, because we all know Walmarts are just scattered everywhere. They're not going to move me to the next Walmart. They're going to fire me, and they're going to put me on the blacklist. They're going to make sure I don't never work at a Walmart again. Same with these police officers. They already proven that they are not fit for such a high level active job. Not everybody could be a police officer. Why I don't know. But once we find these bad apples, we need to stop putting them in different apple bags. I don't know. These rotten apples just keep getting pushed, and they keep violating and violating and violating. Cut them off. Throw them in jail. That easy. And I guarantee the respect and the trust will slowly build for policing. And that's what we need. So let's have that conversation.
Thank you for listening, and don't forget to join the conversation by subscribing. Make sure to tune in next time, and like always, power to you, power to me, power to the people, power to the pod.